So, how was your day today?
It was amazing.
Why was it amazing?
Because today was just like, I have my days where I just wake up not feeling it. But today was just a day that everything was going so good for me. Just work wise, getting to come home early, and now I get to share my story.
Alright, so we'll just get straight into it. Can you tell me a little bit about your childhood?
My childhood, I grew up in New Mexico, and there's nothing out there at all. I'm the middle child, and yeah, as a kid, I think I lacked a lot of love from my parents. They were very young when they had me, 18 years old, and yeah, I just sibling love. I was never liked in school. It was just, you look at things and it's like, why me? Why can't I be loved, or why can't people like me for who I am and not try to change things about me? That was one big thing about me. Like, I was never perfect. I was always someone different from my siblings. Like, I never met the standards of my brothers and sisters growing up. Like, they're very straight A students, and here I am, BC average. I was just never up there with them. They were very popular. I wasn't. I was more of a problem child, I felt like, but that comes from getting tough love from my father as a child.
What were your dreams as a child?
As a child, I always dreamed of being married and having kids and a family that loved me. And having just a good job and just being able to come home to a husband that loved me and appreciated me.
Can you tell me about your relationship with your dad?
My relationship with my dad was very hard. He's an amazing man. He's my father. I love him, of course. It was just, he was very, very, very hard on me. To this day, he's hard on me. We just never see eye to eye. I was always, like, he can't even give me a hug as my father. I don't know. I don't understand why. I love him to death, but he just doesn't know how to show me love like he shows my sister. I mean, I have brothers and sisters, and they all, like, I think I'm just so much alike him that he doesn't know how to, like, be with me. I was treated like a boy growing up instead of my brothers being treated like a boy. I was the one he was hard on, like, just principles of, like, he's bought all my brothers and sisters cars, and I'm the one who worked hard for mine. Like, just little things like that I've noticed, and it was from when I was young. Like, we just never seen eye to eye at all, and I don't know, like, I honestly don't know what it is with him. I always, like, try to sit there and talk to him, and he gets, like, aggressive talking, like, so I just rather not talk to him because it leads to him wanting to hit me for, just for speaking my mind on how I feel, or,
So did he used to hit you?
Yeah, I had a very abusive childhood. When I try to call him out on it, now that I'm older, he's like, I didn't, like, do that. I said, yes, you did. Like, and my brothers and sisters just look at him like, Dad, you were, like, you were very, very hard on me. I mean, I could take it back to kindergarten when I used to do bad. He used to just whoop me, and when he would hit me, he'd say, like, this is what my dad used to do, and, like, I just feel like he took it out on me, like what his dad did to him, and then he started doing it to me. And then as we got older, he realized that he messed up with me, because once I turned 18, I just left the house and just kind of started doing my own thing, like, as running around, wrong crowd.
What would the physical abuse consist of?
When you say consist of, just as in hitting, he'd hit me like I was his enemy on the street. It was pretty bad. I mean, I could just remember from when I was in kindergarten, just always getting hit, always being the problem child, always one to never. He'd always say, "You're just gonna be a loser," and all this stuff. It was verbal abuse and abuse just growing up, and I always tell him, like, "Dad, you shouldn't do that," because growing up, like, it did mess me up as a child, because if I try to talk to you now, like, you get aggressive, and I'm the only one of our brothers and sisters that is still scared of you. Like,
how did that feel when he would hit you? How did it feel in that moment? Like,
I would be scared. I was only a little girl, and I didn't know, like, I didn't know better. And then to know that when he would hit me, he would say his dad used to hit him like this, so this is why I'm getting hit like this.
What about your relationship with your mom?
With my mom, my mom and my dad are my rocks, whether or not with my mom, it's just we never see eye to eye. She's just always trying to change me as a person, telling me to be this way when, this is who I am. I can't change who I am. Like, everybody's their own self, and I've always tried to make it clear to them, like, I'm not going to change for anybody. I am who I am, and this is, like, I can't help what I like to wear. You can't change me from what I like to wear. It's my body. You guys are all your own people. Like, just let me live. Like, oh, you're embarrassing. You're not going to sit with us. Like, things like that. Like, they didn't take it in consideration that how does it make me feel, like, as a person. It was always about how their background is. Oh, don't sit by me because I'm embarrassed. Like, things like that. Like, you're embarrassed because of what I'm wearing. Like, you shouldn't be like that towards me. Like, we're all our own people. Like, we should be able to be free and comfortable the way we want to look. No one should try to change us. And we wouldn't see eye to eye, and she would get very, like, mean and say mean, hurtful things to me, like I was a whore, I was a slut, or just, it was pretty bad.
So what's your relationship with your mom right now?
With my mom right now, we have a really good relationship due to the things that I had to go through in order for her to see that you only get one daughter in life, or she has two of us, so you could never get me back again if I would have hurted myself the way I did. So what I did brought us, as in me and my family and brothers and sisters, back together as a family, because I almost ended my life.
What did you learn from your parents?
I learned what love was. And I'm not saying because of me, but because of the way that they show each other unconditional love. They've been married for 32 years. I've seen them go through ups and downs, and I've seen them go through hard times and good times, and they've never left each other's side. And as a family, it's unconditional love, whether we see it or not. And I've learned a lot, as in, they say things to me for my better. I was just a stubborn child and wanted to do things my way, because that's just what I did. I just took things the harder way, and I had to take a lot of life experiences because of it.
Can you tell me about your first love and how that felt?
My first love, I don't think I've experienced love like that, honestly.
Can you tell me about your first loss or heartbreak? And how that felt?
My first loss, it would have been my son's dad. I loved him as a person. I never seen any bad in him, and I learned to discover things, and I just had to let him go out of my life because it was too toxic. When I said I almost ended my life, it was because of him.
How did he contribute to your heartbreak or loss within that whole scenario?
Believe it or not, I was like a crazy person on Pacific. I thought I was gonna be gone. I was losing my mind. I was going crazy. And he lived in my household with my family and my kids. And I just remember one day I went to Sunken City and I said I was going to end my life and I was going to jump off the cliff because I couldn't take it anymore. I just had, every morning I would wake up depressed. I would wake up sad. I would wake up crying. It was every day for like 2 years.
And it was because of dynamics with your boyfriend?
Yes.
What made it so toxic?
Waking up to guns in my face every day. My parents would go on vacation and I would be home by myself and I would fear for my life every day because I didn't know if I was going to live to see tomorrow. He hit me in the face with a gun and he said he was going to kill me in front of my kids. And then I would have these nightmares and I would tell my mom, something's not right here, like I don't know. And then I wouldn't tell them exactly what he would do because I was afraid to lose my brothers or my dad to this guy, and that was the last thing I wanted to do. Then it came about that my mom had a dream. I kept telling her I felt like someone was doing something to me and someone was doing something to me. I kept telling her and expressing to her, and she had a dream of a dream catcher, and she ended up going to the La Mirada swap meet. And the dream catcher she dreamt was right there in front of her face. And the lady right away grabbed my mom and she started telling her in Spanish, like, you need to bring me your daughter because your daughter is being messed with. And then my mom just looked at her like, what kind of, like, how do you know this, you know? And it was like a curandera, which would be a witch doctor. And they said that there was 6 people working on me, and I've had it on me for a good 6 years. And the most recent one would have been my baby dad and his mother. They put death on me, and they were making me go crazy. And the minute that I got my cleanse, my boyfriend, my baby dad, was living in my house, and I told him, oh, I'm gonna go get a cleanse because, you know, someone, and he freaked out. He was like hallucinated, and we didn't see him for that week. And the minute that my cleanse came through, he came back to visit my household to grab the rest of his things, and he seen that we had put up like crosses and stuff because we had none of that in our house. And he like grabbed me and he's like, why would you go get a cleanse for? Because he knew exactly what he had done to me. And then it just like brought everything back to his mom not knowing that I knew Spanish. And I remember the last words she had told him was she was going to be hard to get rid of. And it broke my heart because I really thought I loved that guy. I mean, I have a kid with him. But it took me my strong family not to give up on me, because when they wanted to give up on me, I was at the last of my bottom, and for some reason God didn't let them give up on me, and I'm here today, and my life has changed from negative to positive in such moments, like just being relieved of all the bad things that I was put through with him was hurtful. And it just drew me closer with God and my family, because now today I have a really good relationship with all my brothers and sisters and my mom and dad. But it took something drastically like this to happen for everybody to see that I was going through more than what they knew of. And as I grew as a person, I was able to be open with them and let them know all the experiences that I did have to go through with that guy that I had a kid with.
Who first taught you love and how?
I want to say that my parents, I look up to their love as in what they showed and what they've given me. I maybe not have inhaled it all as a child, but as an adult, they show me everything that I've ever want in a relationship and what love is, unconditional. They're there through thick and through the hard times, through the good times, especially for family, no matter how wrong they could do. My parents just always help them out, or always there for one another, no matter the circumstances. You know, they just show unconditional love.
What's love to you? Has it always been the same, or has it changed? So if so, what was love to you then and love to you now?
Love to me, then I thought it was okay to be abused. I thought it was okay to be talked to with no respect. I just thought love came with no filter. Now I see love and I have self-love. I show other people love. I give love as in like just the joy in my heart. I could never see any wrong in a person that I don't know. Like, I'm always there for someone that regardless if I know them or not. Love to me is like, how would you put it? Like, I love everyone in this world. Everyone, to me, God made us all one, to be brothers and sisters. There's no color to it. There's no race to it. He created us all. And He created us all to love one another and to be there for one another, because the world will be a better place if everyone just seen what He did for us. He died for us, got beat for us so we can live this life. And when I look at it, I just can't see people be so mean to other people. It's just ugly.
Can you tell me about a good day for you? Just a general good day.
A good day. A good day is these past 3 years that I've been free and being able to see life differently, been able to see the things that I've never seen out of myself, as in what I deserve in life. And now I know that I have standards in my life, that I deserve love, I deserve happiness, my kids deserve the world. And I mean, I just believe that every day for the past 3 years have been really good for me.
Can you tell me about just a good day in general? Like, for the past 3 years they've been good, but what's that day consist of?
Waking up every morning and being healthy, being able to see the light, taking a fresh breath of air, being able to go to work every day and provide for my 2 kids.
Can you tell me about a bad day and how you pushed through that bad day?
Yes. So, a week ago, I've been doing really good, and I ran into my son's father, who I hadn't encountered in almost 3 years. And I was washing my clothes, minding my business. I had my 2 kids, and I seen the devil itself. Like, his mom started yelling in my son's face, and not to mind you, I'm like, oh, how am I gonna deal with this? Like, I don't see my son, I don't ask you guys for nothing, I don't bug you guys, and now you're sitting here yelling at my son and wearing a laundromat. I'm just trying to get my job done as a person. And I see her approach my son, and I'm just like, God, please, like, give me some type of sign. Like, what do I do? Like, so I ignored it. I got my kids, and I pushed them to the back of me. I said, you need to stop. Like, I was being very polite about it. And when I did that, she went and she called my son's dad. He comes from across the street. He was at the bar with his friends, and there it goes. It was like the devil itself can't see me trying to do good, because she starts swinging on me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, not in front of my kids, please. So I just like looked at her. She broke my phone, and I was like, all right, like, whatever, I'm not going to deal with this lady. She calls the cops, and I just have them arrest her. I said, you know what? I'm better than this. I said, she needs to go to jail. She broke my phone. She yelled at my son. She assaulted me. She's done. I'm not talking to her. I said, there's no more nothing. I just want her done and out of my life. So that bad day, it was a bad day because my kids had to experience that from their grandmother, who they have nothing to do with. Like, and she's sitting there yelling at them, calling them names. Like, who talks to kids like that are 4 years old, that 8 years old? I mean, my adrenaline was rushing, but I mean, I felt like I dealt with it in the best manner, because I didn't want to be back in that place of hate. Because I hate nobody. I've forgiven everybody who's done so wrong to me. I've forgiven it, and I put it in the past to me, and I just want to live life, and I can't live life if you have that unforgiveness there. So I just did what I had to do and do what was right for me and my kids' safety.
What is a thing, event, or person that shaped you, good or bad, and how do you feel when you reflect?
All of my life experiences that I went through as a person, from childhood to now, I took a lot of lessons in life, and it shaped me to be humble. It shaped me to be wiser with decisions. It shaped me to be who I am today. I've grown so much as a person in general. I mean, the old me would have just not given a crap about anything. I would have just went on and continued with the life I was living. But this person that I've become, I love her because I learned to love myself and give myself that respect that I deserve, that I know that I deserve.
What has been, let me backtrack, what's inspired you?
Inspired me? I'd have to say it'd be all the lessons I took in life. It inspired me because my mentality was not fully grown, because I've experienced so much. And now that I am grown, I feel that all the lessons I took in life, it's inspired me to be this beautiful person to everyone in general that I come in encounter with. It's taught me to be humbler with a lot of people. It's taught me to be patient, to not lose my hope in a lot of situations, and it's given me faith to, like, I know that God is good, and I know God is bigger than anything in this world, and I know that because of him and the people I have in my family, I'm here today. And I mean, that was one big thing too, is that I grew up in churches my whole life. I was raised in Christian churches, and the minute I moved to California, I just kind of gave it all away, because I kind of went through a rebellious stage of, why did you guys move me my senior year? Like, it was just a lot for me to intake as a person. I had no friends here. I mean, I had a lot of cousins, but it wasn't the same thing as in your lifestyle from where you grew up at.
Well, what one of those experiences, if we can go into one of your experiences and the lesson you learned in that's part of your inspiration?
It would have to be the experience of the whole witchcraft stuff, because I never in my life thought that people could do such mean, harmful things to another person. And it took a lot for me to intake that as a person, because I wouldn't even come out of my house because I was so afraid. I was afraid of light. I was afraid that people were going to see me, and every time someone would see me, they thought that I was death walking, like literally death walking. That's how I looked. I looked like a homeless, I'm not lying to you, I looked like a homeless person who lost it completely. Like, it was horrible. Like, I go back and I've seen the pictures and I'm like, wow, like, it took so much of me to like learn and read the Bible and to acknowledge the things that were in there. And I'm like, wow, like, I always thought that none of this ever existed. Like, that's none of that existed. But as I grew as a person and I grew into my church, and I actually like sat there and read, it says it in the Bible, like all the things that I've experienced as a person was there in my face. And it was because, I mean, I think I lacked God. And I fell out of church when I moved to California. And I know that, you know, it was an eye-opener. It taught me lessons. And I know that I will never leave church anymore. God, I have so much faith in him. And he helped me grow as a person and helped me to realize, to be wiser. And I have friends who experience what I went through, and I help them out of their situations by telling them my stories and giving them advice and being there as a friend for them and what they've gone through with their boyfriends. And I mean, it had to take me to go through something really bad for me to open my eyes and realize that there's a bigger picture to all of this.
What has been a humbling experience for you?
I used to be a badass in my bad times, and it really made me humble myself when I had to go through all the bad things that I did. I was not to be mean, a bitch. And I mean, I probably hurt people along the way, and I'm sorry for that. Every time I see the person that I did have encounter with, I mean, I make amends with them. I mean, it humbled me to a point where I'm just like, you never know what other people go through, so you need to just stop. You know, everybody has their own life experiences, and I got a taste of mine, and it made me humble my ego a lot, because I mean, I was pretty harsh. I mean, I feel like I was, just because I was that tough love with my father just made me like Billy Badass and just have that attitude towards everybody. But like I said, it took me so many lessons in life for me to.
What's been like the most humbling, if you could pick one?
it'd have to be me not forgetting like where I came from. I mean, I try to do good by other people. And try to put myself in their shoes when they go through things. Like I had a friend who we stopped being friends because I was too like hard on her, and I said hurtful things to her. And I mean, it took me 3 months to like realize like she was my good friend and she tells me things because she cares about me. But I said some things that were just like hurtful and like, you know, like things you don't say to friends. And I had to like get out of my stubborn way, and I had to go to her and apologize to her. And you know, she did forgive me, so we are best friends to this day. But I mean, I had to humble myself into like what I say to others could hurt them and me not realize it, because she did tell me like the things you said were like so mean and hurtful. How can you say that to me? And then I just kind of told her what I went through and why I'm so harsh on the things I say sometimes, but I don't mean it, you know.
Go in your mind and think this life event can be mental, physical, or spiritual. Tell me about a time in your life that you can relate with the word of war.
The word of war. It would have to be me fighting my inner demons with just everything, like you said, mental.
How do you fight your inner demons?
What I do is I just try to block it off. And it's actually worked because when I feel like I'm getting sad or something, or I feel like something's coming back to me, I just meditate and yoga, because it calms my nerves so much. Like I never realized that just being by yourself and putting on that type of music will relax you and give you a whole different aspect of what you're feeling, because I mean, it's helped me so much.
Can you describe what that war feels like?
It's pretty hard and tough, because one side of my mind tells me like you're never gonna have anything that you want, and then I have the other side that like just stay positive, be patient. It's like a tug of war between my brain that just tells me like I'm never gonna meet anybody's standards, I'm never gonna have all the things that my brothers and sisters have. Like it's just a lot that just plays mind games with me, and it's hard, but I'm learning to take it one day at a time and try to be positive about it. And when I feel like it's going negative, to think of ways of going positive about it. I mean, it is hard. It's hard to describe, because it's like someone's pulling back and forth on my brain, telling me you're never gonna be this. And then you have this side, just like it's heavy, it's hard, and I mean.
Tell me about a time, the same type of question. Go in your mind and think this life event can be mental, physical, or spiritual. Tell me about a time that you can relate to the word peace.
Peace?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm finally finding peace with myself as a person. I find peace in my past. I've let it go. Some of it I'm starting to let go, but it's hard. It's time consuming, I guess you have to say. I don't know. I can't say I'm fully at peace because I'm not.
Closest thing you felt to peace.
The closest thing that I felt to peace was when I left the father of my child. It was really bad, but I feel at peace because I feel like I know that he can't hurt me the way he hurt me before, and I know that I'm stronger as a person.
Tell me about a truly difficult time in your life. How that felt. And how you overcame it.
It would be when I got raped. When I was 19 years old. I had just moved to California. And I was being rebellious against my parents. And my dad told me to be home at this time, and I didn't come home. And I was with people who I thought were friends. And it happened to be that they weren't my friends. And how I overcame it, I still go to counseling for it because I have to deal with that every day of my life. It's a hard thing. I always ask God if I'll ever get that out of my thoughts and if it will ever just go away, because I still feel it every single day. I could be happy, but then somewhere in the back of my mind, like I said, it plays tug of war of the things that I went through. And that was probably one of the hardest things that I had to go through, besides the father of my son. But I thank God that I'm still here because I had to fight my way.
What do you think helps most to continue on after that? What's one of the things that helps you most?
Well, I do good when I go to my therapist about it, but when I don't, it just all comes back. So it's like me finding time to see my therapist is hard because I'm a single mom of 2 kids, and having to squeeze her in my schedule is just, but I mean, when I do see my therapist, she puts me at ease. Like being able to be open with her and her not judge me on what I went through is something big. But other than that, I just try not to think of it, but like I said, it's like my brain plays tug of war, and it's like something that always crosses my mind. But I always do pray to God that He'll find some type of way to heal me in that area, because it drains me emotionally and physically as a person.
Can you tell me about a truly joyous moment in your life?
Yeah, just coming home every day to my kids and them hugging me and telling me that they miss me and that I'm the best mom, and my parents being able to give me more love that I deserve, because like I said, it was hard for them to give me hugs, and they see how hard I work now for my kids and provide for them.
How does that feel, seeing your kids?
They bring happiness to my life. If it wasn't for them, I don't know where I'd be right now, honestly.
Can you describe that feeling, like when you see them smile, when they hug you?
it like brings so much happiness to my heart. It's like my son, I could be having the baddest day and my son would just be like, Mom, don't cry, you're so beautiful. I'm just like, thank you, babe. Like, it's just amazing, like the little things that your kids could say to put smiles on your face. They bring life to me, and I can't see myself without them. They've given me so much life to live with them. Like, it's fun. Kids are fun. They're a lot of work, but they're fun. Have a lot of energy. Like, I'll be going home and they'll be waiting for me at my door. Like, there's Mom.
What keeps you up at night?
Honestly, just all kinds of feelings. Like, I get I just have all these thoughts of like where my life is going, like just everything. I'm a worrier. We'll just say that. I worry about everybody. If nobody's home, if my brother's not home, I'm always worried, like, are you guys okay? Like, I always have that mother instinct on them because, I'm a mom, so my mind's always going 1,000 when it's time for bed. It's hard for me to go to sleep too. But the way I do fall asleep is through meditation. It does relax me and it knocks me out. Or my son play with my hair.
What keeps you going every day?
My kids, my 2 little ones. I know that they don't have a dad, so I've never seen my parents not give me anything in life, I work hard for them and I try my best to give them everything, but at the same time show them like things are not, I'm not going to just spoil rotten my kids, but I give them enough to where they know, like, my kids don't own phones or none of that. They're well taken care of. I take them outdoors. I do activities with them. Like, I keep us busy in general. But my kids are the ones who bring me. That's why I keep going every day in life, because I know that I have to provide for them. I have to give them everything.
Do you think that like you've truly forgiven your dad? And if you're not fully there, do you take steps to try and get there?
Yes, that I will say. Truly forgiven, I forgive easily. It's just that there's still things there that I tell my parents that I feel like we need to see a therapist together, because I feel that will put a lot of weight off of my shoulders, because I know that there's things there that can't be fixed, but we could work on fixing things together as a family. Because, like I said, there was so much that they did, not realizing that they did that to me as a person. And I've always told them, like, let's just go see a therapist, because I bet you it'll feel better for me, like, as a person. I know if I had you guys sitting there with me, if we got counseling or something, I felt that I would feel that we could work on getting there together. I mean, I love my parents unconditionally.
How big of a part do you think forgiveness is going to play in your life?
I mean, I've forgiven people who did the worst to me. I mean, but I still have little things here and there for my parents. I love my parents with everything I have. I just wish that they would recognize the things that they've done to me as a kid growing up and how it made me feel, and we could get past that stage. I've forgiven them. Like, I don't hate them. I love them. It's just, I know and they know that there's things there that are not fixed.
Do you feel that you can ever get to a point where you just forgive and there's no expectation, that you just accept them, like, these are my parents, like, maybe they never acknowledge what they did?
Yeah, that's what I do forgive them.
Right.
They're my parents and I love them unconditionally because they've given me life, so that I can say, like, no matter what, I love them with everything that I have. Nothing changes about it. It's just, I guess, like you said, maybe they're never going to acknowledge it, but that's something I have to just put in the past already so I can live a better life. As in, I know if I let it go and just put it past me already, I think I could have a better outcome, but I'm always, like, just picking at it, like,
What are some of the tools you use to, like, get through?
With my parents, I try to be more open with them because, I mean, I never used to talk to them. I used to just come in and out and that's it. Like, it's always a rage when I see them. But now I take the time to sit there and talk with them, tell them what's on my mind, be a little bit more open about things. And I try to work on, like, my parents are very old school. That's what it is. They're very, very old school. So they're, like, very strict, very by the book. Like, it's just, so it's hard for me because I'm like, we're not in your generation anymore. Like, it's hard for me to intake at times with them. But I mean, it has gotten better because we're able to sit there and talk about our differences. I mean, my dad will have he gets, like, so aggressive and then, like, he humbles himself and he's like, because my mom will tell him, like, you can't just talk to her like that now because she's older, like, and then he'll come back and then he'll, like, he shows me that tough love and then, like, we'll talk it out, but it's like, Dad, I'm too old for this, like, like, treat me like my other sister. So we do talk about things and he'll remember, like, he recognizes what he's gonna do and then he's like, oh wait, like, he'll catch on to himself, like, being rough with me.
Imagine you're in the hospital today with only hours to live. What would be your regrets?
Not having a better relationship with my family, my brothers and sisters.
So you're alive, you're gonna make it. Do you feel that you can change those regrets from this point moving forward?
Yes. I mean, my family's my world.
You told me what your dreams were as a child. What are your dreams now?
I still dream of getting married and I still dream of having my family. And, I mean, my career is there. So, yeah.
You're the author of your life, but in which you are the main character. What's your picture perfect gonna be?
Me happily in love and married with kids.
How would it feel if it ends that way?
It would be everything I've ever dreamed of.
That's it.
A lot of weight on me.
Not too bad, right?
No. I mean, it was, I mean, and it's just you here, but, I mean, now everybody gets to see the experiences of everybody else.
Yeah. Great.
Stuff is real out there.